Hey guys, Ian here, Nolo Designs. Today I'm going to make a quick video about lift kits and just share some of the thoughts and questions that I get frequently. One of the big things that I get is, hey, I don't have a lift kit right now, but if I buy your skid plates, will they work with the lift kit? The answer is yes. They will work. They'll work even if you have one of the bigger kits, like a 2.5-inch kit or a 3.5-inch kit with a subframe drop. They will still bolt up. Those kits come with a 1-inch subframe drop, and so in some cases we provide different spacers. In other cases, you might need different mounting hardware. For instance, our front skid plate, if you have the 1-inch subframe drop, you're actually going to have to use U-bolts. You won't be able to use the standard M6 hardware that comes in the kit. So those are some things to think about when you're looking at lift kits. Personally, if I was going to be lifting my ridgeline, I think there's about I'll say there's 3 stages that are useful. I like the 1.5 inch in the front, 1 inch in the rear. Keeps a good factory rake. It's not super high, but it's definitely more capable than a stock truck. I like that a lot, and it's not going to stress any of your drive components. The other option would be the HRG 2.5-inch kit. So that's going to give you a little bit more lift, but it's going to keep your axle angles happy, keep those where they should be. And then you can even go all the way up to a Traxta 3.5-inch kit, which I actually personally ran on my ridgeline for a little over a year before turning it into some kind of Frankenstein lift that it is today. But so those kits are probably going to be your 3 different tiers. My personal favorite that I recommend to people when they ask me what I think that they should do with their truck if they're trying to raise it up off the ground to do some more adventuring or camping or things like that, I frequently will recommend people to actually use the HRG 2.5-inch kit with a Traxta axle relocation kit. So this is going to give you a bigger lift. It's going to give you enough lift, I should say, and it also allows you to run 32-inch tires with the Traxta axle relocation kit. So I really like that pairing personally, just because I also kind of like that stuffed look on the vehicle. And with the inch subframe drop, it helps keep the tire out of the way of, there's a few things in the wheel wells that get caught up if you don't have the subframe drop, but you have an axle relocation kit. So something to be aware of. I have a buddy of mine that is going through that problem right now. So either way, if you're going to do a kit, I like that kit. I recommend that kit to people. If you absolutely have to have your truck as high off the ground as possible, which was my case because I wanted to drive the truck as many places as possible, I went with the Traxta kit. Now the Traxta kit, I believe, is almost double the cost of the HRG kit, but it's a very complete kit. It will allow you to do more things. You've got the truck is higher off the ground, and ultimately that's going to be kind of the biggest kit you can get as a one-stop shop. Now, for me personally, my truck is using 4 different manufacturers' components right now. So I actually have a mix of subframe drop components that are my own personal stuff and Traxta's, and it's a 1.3-inch drop in the front and a 1.2-inch drop in the rear. And then I have Eibach lift springs. I have an 1.5-inch top hat spacer from Traxta, and I have a 2-inch spacer in the rear from HRG. It was just a convenience thing there, but ultimately, so those are mixed and matched some more. Excuse me. And then I also have New Age Performance Strut Extensions. Now, I personally like this setup a lot because with the longer strut and the longer spring, it gives the truck much more compliance on the trail. So instead of trying to drive over an obstacle and the tire just kind of hitting it and spinning, the tire will actually climb the obstacle. Now I noticed that when I had the Traxta 3.5-inch kit, there was a little bit of struggling that was happening there, but it gave me the clearance that I needed. Now, the downside of the kit that I have today is that Eibach does not make these lift springs anymore. So you can't order the lift springs, and I really would love to see them come back on the market. So hopefully if we get enough traction from this video, we might have some people maybe we can convince Eibach to make the springs again. That would be awesome, because I think right now the way my truck is set up, it's about 4 inches of lift, and the truck rides great. It's good off-road for a ridgeline. People always got a caveat, otherwise they get all mad. So either way, that's the lift that I have on my truck today. It works really well. I'm super happy with it. I think, like I said, as far as kits that you can buy that are a one-stop shop, that you're looking for that more clearance, you're gonna be looking at either an HRG 2.5 inch kit or the Traxxas 3.5 inch kit. And then my personal favorite is kind of the pairing of both of them, even though you know, some people might not want to buy stuff from multiple places, but I like the HRG 2.5 inch kit with the Traxxas relocation kit, because that's going to give you the biggest tire size you can fit with the right amount of lift, and ultimately I think it's going to look really good on the truck when it's done. So for you guys who are thinking about a lift kit, those are pretty much the only major players in the space. There is another company called Flat Out Suspension. They make coilovers. Those I don't have much of an opinion on them. I've met people that run them and absolutely love them, and I've met people that hate them with a passion and could not be more disappointed that they even put money into them. So I'll let you guys decide that one on your own, but it is another option, and I think there's some things about them, if you're willing to tweak and tune and you really have that tinkerer mindset, I think those coilovers may be the right fit for you, and I think you'll really be able to get a lot of performance out of them. But in a lot of cases, maybe you need a different spring, or maybe you need a different spring rate because you're running a bed rack with a rooftop tent, and so you might have to work with them to get a different spring. You may have to you know, tune your rebound, tune your compression. There's a lot of adjustability, and I think that's where people get off in the weeds and end up setting it up so it sucks. That's my guess. But if you want stuff that's out of the box, keeps your factory stuff and struts and everything else, nothing changes other than just a spacer kits, like I said, I like the HRG 2.5 inch kit with the Traxxas axle relocation kit in the front. And that's my personal favorite setup. But if you need all the height you can get and you're looking for a one-stop shop, then I would definitely recommend the Traxxas 3.5 inch kit. And all of our skid plates are compatible with the kits. So we're not worried about no kit it can't be used with. So if you buy plates from us and you have a stock truck and you decide to raise it later, everything will bolt up. You may need a little bit different hardware, but feel free to reach out to us and we'll be able to get you squared away. And that's it. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and comment, let me know if you have any input. I'm always interested. If there's something I don't know about on the market, let me know. And until then, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.